Don't look at him, Roy. Don't look at him. Give him the roaster. Look away. Give him the roaster. Give him the roaster. Give him the roaster. Look away.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Joe Cortez. You're watching ShowBizz, the adult.
Oh, this is Bernard Hopkins, ShowBizz, the adult. I'm out.
Oops. Up off net. Oh, up off net. Roy's looking good, ain't he? Uh-oh. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. All right, man, look. Roy Jones Jr., we better stop sleeping on that boy. Whoops! Hey, man, look. Let's get to the reaction. First, I want to say this. Look, Roy Jones Jr., Iron Mike Tyson on their comeback. Beautiful thing. Because when I look at the tape, those guys are coming with speed and power, with the intent to hurt. And hold on, before I go any further, let's drop this noise. Everybody talking about how they're not going to go for the knockout or they're going to pull punches. I've told you guys this before. Let's just say I have a strong indicator, okay, that at least one of those boys are going for the knockout. Okay, so let's leave that to the side. But I want to say this about both of those boys coming back and how it ignited guys who are retired fighters coming back. Oscar De La Hoya, he's talking about coming back. It looks like he's on his way. Floyd Money Mayweather's going to fight the incredible, dangerous, and aggressive, extremely experienced Logan Paul. And I just saw my favorite heavyweight of all time, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield, on Instagram. They had a little fun. A guy fake that Evander Holyfield is packing a little bit too hard of a punch while sparring. I thought that was fun, but Evander Holyfield, he himself is looking good. But I'm going to say this as well. ShowBizz the water. Room temperature? Yeah, man. Roy Jones Jr., my favorite fighter of all time. Needless to say, I've been extremely worried. But looking at his training footage, and I've been looking at it real close, and you guys saw me comparing the two. When I look at the two, Roy Jones Jr. definitely has the speed advantage. And there was a time where I was even questioning if he had enough of a speed advantage, with him being the smaller guy, with him being known as one of the fastest fighters of all time. I was a little concerned because he can't be close to the speed of Iron Mike Tyson if he thinks he's going to survive the fight, let alone win it. And that's the ShowBizz the water, room temperature. So let's look at the tape. So let's look at the tape. Here's my reaction to Roy Jones Jr. getting it in on the mitts. Come on, Roy. Let's see what you got, baby. Whoa! Look at that speed! That's combination. He's stringing combinations together. Over the left. You see how he makes that uppercut? Hey, don't look at him, Roy. Don't look at him. Give him the roaster. Look away. Give him the roaster. Give him the roaster. Give him the roaster. Look away. There you go. Yeah, talk to him, Roy. Good jab, Roy. Good jab. Yeah. Stop working, Roy. Stop working. Look, see, you see how he, you see how he's turning all the way on that left hook? You get him, Roy. You get him. Give that roaster, Roy. Turn it to it. Yeah, Roy. God. That's my dude right there. Hey, look, I gotta ring the Tyson bell for Roy. You get him, Roy. You get him. Yeah. And look. Well, this is what I noticed with Roy Jones Jr. Does he have the legs that he had before? No, he doesn't. Okay, he doesn't have the legs. But of course, he done broke 50. Okay, so he doesn't have the legs that he had before. But Roy Jones Jr. definitely, his hand speed is looking like it has barely gone anywhere, and that is incredible. But I want to say this: when I look at the combinations he's throwing them with more power, with more funk, because he understands. We know that Roy Jones Jr. got to get away. He can't just trade with Iron Mike Tyson. But in order for him to get away, he has to deliver stuff to Iron Mike Tyson that Iron Mike Tyson must respect. So he's throwing fast combinations, and I'm talking about in sequences that you really can't guess, right? Double, triple right hands, 4, 5, 6, 7 left hooks. He throw an uppercut in there and another left hook. He's not just throwing them with blinding speed, but he's throwing them with a lot of power. Look how much he turned over on that left hook. So he knows he has to throw a lot of punches and he has to throw them extremely fast. Why? Because he must make Iron Mike Tyson stay on the defensive, at least momentarily. And he has to throw them hard enough, make Iron Mike Tyson respect him, bloody his nose a little bit, create some cuts, do all those things. Roy Jones Jr. is going to have to throw punches and bunches and throw them extremely hard to get that respect. And once Iron Mike Tyson come up for air, Roy Jones Jr. got to be out the way. He got to be over there. He has to be over there. He is throwing them from a distance where Iron Mike Tyson must close the gap a bit. And in that little bit, he's going to take some punches while he's trying to close the gap. And then once he come up for air, Roy Jones Jr., he done spent him. He's going over here, went to the direction of the referee. Now, of course, I'm not saying everything Roy Jones Jr. is doing is perfect and is going to allow for him to be victorious that night. I'm just saying it's a good game plan. There are things that you look at and, it's old bad habits, right? Old bad habits die hard. You look how low he's holding his guard. You're looking at him lean forward. You're looking at what he does with his right hand. Once he throws a good one, he kind of taunts a little bit. And maybe you say, okay, look, he's doing that while training. He's not going to do that in the fight. Well, that's muscle memory, right? So if you're doing that in training, you're going to do that in the fight. So those little moments where he's leaning forward with his hands low, Iron Mike Tyson's going to be able to capitalize on those moments. Those little moments where Roy Jones Jr., he throws the right hand and he kind of, bring that right hand up, kind of taunts a little bit, that little pause. Iron Mike Tyson would probably be in his space too close and make him pay for that as well. So there are things that Roy Jones Jr. is doing that I think would be costly in that fight. But in looking at him, I am done sleeping on Roy Jones Jr. chances in that fight because Roy Jones Jr. looked like he's packing a wallop and he's throwing them extremely fast and hard. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. ShowBizz, Lord, don't. I'm out.